Hello everybody. I'm back for another installment on how to hunt with a longbow in the South. Today we are going to cover how to shoot, basically how to get accurate, And we've got our bow set up. Hopefully we got the right arrows for it. And as we go through learning to shoot, you know, our arrow, so we may have to do some more tuning with our arrow, but that'll be later on. Right now, hopefully we got feathers on that joker and it's shooting good for you. First thing you need to decide how you want to shoot. And basically you shoot instinctive or gap shoot split finger, or three under the arrow. For me, I would recommend, if you're a beginner, you want to learn to hunt, and you want to get there pretty quick with your accuracy, I would recommend shooting three under, meaning three fingers under the arrow, and gap shooting. Simply because it teaches you, it gets you on target fast, you get accurate fast, get accurate pretty fast, and you see some good results pretty quick. And I guess that may not be the way to put it, but I'm being honest. So I'm not going to go through all the how-tos on that, but I have a video. Pull up my channel and I have a video on there on how to aim a longbow, and it teaches you everything you need to know about that. How to find your gap, how to I show everything on there how to do that. So I would encourage you to watch that video, but remember, it's doing you no good if you don't have good form. Remember, we did all that shooting for form, and what I would tell you to do every time before you go out to shoot, to learn how to do this gap shooting, draw the bow to anchor, close your eyes, get used to feeling anchor, because the number one word in shooting a bow as we go through this whole thing is consistency. You have to be consistent in your release, your grip, everything has to be consistent. And you're not going to shoot good groups. And as I would tell you to, I'm a firm believer in shooting one arrow at the time when I'm out shooting for accuracy, practicing my accuracy. But I've slowly I've turned from that a little bit. I think that shooting a couple arrows, or maybe even three, but take your time in between and really focus on each arrow, teaching you how to aim until you figure out what your gap is. And there again, this video that I've told you about how to aim a longbow, it'll explain all that to you. But you can shoot a couple, three arrows if you like to get you can see how you're grouping, and it just helps you to see what you need to do. And that video will explain it. Then as you get around walking, you figured out how to aim, and you figured out how to, you'll be able to hit. If you do like I'm telling you, you'll be able to hit pretty consistent there out to 15 yards or so. Then you get your judo point, and you walk around and shoot one arrow at the time. Walking around shooting at pine cones, different things on the ground, in the woods. It gets you used to shooting in the kind of woods you're hunting in. And that's a good way to practice, but I would recommend learning to gap shoot first. People say, oh, that's not traditional. Well, Howard Hill, he is a split vision guy, which is a form of gap shooting. And bear down, looking at your spot, the arrow blurs in your gap, and there again, that video will teach you all that. So I would recommend you go watch that video. If you want to be hardcore and learn to shoot fully instinctive, well, that's doable too. I would recommend you pull up John Schultz, Hitting Them Like Howard Hill, on YouTube, and watch his form. And that's a good idea to watch his form for the gap shooting as well. Been coming up, and just bear down, look at your spot. To get both of these need to happen, both of these styles of shooting need to happen really close, like 10 yards. And bear down. I've stuck a piece of cardboard on my target there, bales of hay or whatever, and I'll pull my arrow and I'll shoot at the hole, the hole in the cardboard. That's what I aim for. Aim in a real small spot and bear down on shooting like that, and you'll get where you're grouping pretty good. Then step back a little bit. If your arrows start going array on you there, step back up, get your form. It's your form, it's what's causing you to miss. If you're drilling holes at 10 yards, you step back to 15 and they scatter, and it's because of your form. Hold your form. And that's the best way I can tell you to shoot. But you won't do, how good you get and how quick you get there. It all depends on, number one, consistency, being consistent in your anchor, your grip, everything, and also the amount of time you put in it. You can shoot too much. Don't go out there and wear yourself out. You're getting tired, you're shooting, start scoring the crap, quit with it. Just shoot 1 or 2 arrows, like I said, 2 or 3 until you learn your gap. That way you shoot groups and you can tell how you're actually hitting. And then after that, you do your practicing for accuracy with 1 arrow with a judo. That's the best way. And so there you have it. That's the way I would encourage you to learn how to shoot, is by watching those 2 videos. And pull up Jeff Phillips and watch anything that he has to say about instinctive shooting if you want to learn to shoot instinctive. He's the best shot I've seen actually in is shooting like that. He shoots extremely quick and he drills. So that's a good guy to watch as well. But I hope this helps right here. This is not a long video. I hope you wasn't expecting to get big time shooting lessons right here, but I am pointing you to some videos where you can get them from, you know, and I like to say that my how to aim a longbow was pretty decent on going in depth on showing you how to do that. So watch that video. And a couple of tips for you. And first, this came to mind. I was thinking about my arrow video, finding the right arrow. Always, your knock will affect your tuning. So don't have your knock too tight. This one here just barely slips on right there. Don't have your knock. You don't want your knock to be hard to come off the arrow. You don't need to snap on real tight to the string. And all you got to do is stick a dime in that. If it's too tight, just stick a dime in there and kind of work it a little bit, make it open up some. And that's really all there are to it. And if you get it a little bit too wide, then take your fingers and squeeze them together on the end just a touch. But I should have put that on the other video, but I forgot about it. Don't have your nocks too tight on the string. That'll cause shooting problems. So, and always remember, nothing happens good if your form is not good. You got to, at the early part of this learning to shoot, your form has to be #1. That's the main thing. I think I remember reading that John Schultz and his brother learned to shoot from Howard Hill, and he sent them off and told them to practice like for a couple weeks on nothing but form. Up close, blind bale shooting, drawing back, hitting anchor. So you want your shot, the physical part of your shot, the goal is to have it happen without thought, automatic. There's a deer coming. You're not thinking about it if you're touching your nose or you're doing this or that. You waiting on the deer to hit the gap. When he hits the gap, you've practiced this form so much, it happens without thought. And all your focus is on aiming, whether you're bearing down on a spot or if you're shooting gap. All your focus is on what's in front of the bow. That makes you a killer in the woods. If you got a lot of focus happening back here in the back, it's not going to help you. Always, you want your goal to be able to shoot with every bit of your focus in front of the bow, not behind it. All right? So I hope that helps y'all. That's I'm just trying to get everybody rolling. Hopefully this will get you shooting. And then, I mean, the biggest, once you find your gap, or if you're shooting instinctive, once you start hitting where you're looking at 5 yards, 10 yards, and I would encourage you, if you're gonna shoot the instinctive part, after you get, say, at 10 yards and you're hitting exactly where you're looking, step back a foot, you know, shoot an arrow back, step up to 5, shoot an arrow, back to 10, back to 15, keep bouncing back and 2 so your mind adjusts to those shots. You got a pretty good computer up here, use it. If you're learning to aim, your gap shooting, focus on the spot you want to hit, and there again, do the same thing. Shoot close, 10, 15, 20. In my video, I explain how your arrow works and how you gap like that, and bounce back and 2 like that. We don't need to worry about 20 and 25 yards. We want to be killers out to 15 yards, and then we may work on a little bit farther shot after that. And I'm going to tell you a don't do, and I may get some rocks thrown at me about this. The worst thing you can do is be practicing. You just got your bow, everything's going, we got our tune, we got arrows. You learn, say you're learning to shoot instinctive, and you're out there in your yard, and at 10 yards, you just wadding arrows up like this. You back up to 15, same thing. And you're shooting back, and you're shooting really strong. Then you grab your bow and you go to the 3D range with your buddies, and probably 2 or 3 of them shooting compounds, and they shooting past 15 yards. 15 yards ain't fun to them. And you fall in there with them, and you come home with half of your arrows and absolutely 0 confidence. That's the worst thing you can do. Don't do it. You want to go hang out with them, go hang out with them, but don't shoot outside your range. Shooting out this whole game, every bit of this shooting, instinctive or gap shooting, your ability to beat target panic, not to snatch, all that stems from having a whole lot of confidence. And if you shoot outside your range, you're going to lose confidence. It's fun to sling an arrow way out there every now and then, just one horse playing. But you'll go shoot all them long shots, and you lose half your arrows, and it destroys your confidence. Do not do that. You want every shot, especially when I'm hunting, and even right now, when I'm coming out here, my first shot of the day is always within a hunting range, and usually I like it to be at the edge of my hunting range where I'm challenging myself. But my very first shot of the day will be inside the hunting range. I'll be sitting in a chair, I'll be on my knees, I'll be kind of hiding behind a tree, but I want it to be as realistic as possible, but the range is going to be not 25, 30 yards. It's going to be what I would hunt in the woods, because it builds my confidence. And then when I get a shot on the animal, my mind's not swimming, I hope I can get him, I hope I can get him. You can never kill an animal trying not to miss him. You're going to have confidence knowing that if you hold your form, and if you're an aimer, you're on spot. If you're instinctive, you're bearing down on spot. You have to have that confidence knowing that, like Star, we got to let the force be with you. You got to know it's right. You bear down on your spot and know the arrow's going to go there. I do know if I draw the bow, hit anchor, I'm looking at my spot, my arrow's going to go deer killing close every single time, 15, 20 yards or less. And you can build all that confidence up and go out to that 3D range with your buddies and completely destroy every bit of it in just one time. So do not do that. Don't do it. And there'll be a point where, if you're going with your trad buddies and all y'all are shooting close, that'll help you some. And it's good after you get over the hump and you learn how to shoot to go with people, because it puts pressure on you. And it gets you a little antsy, sort of like a deer coming under, and that's a good thing. But don't go out there slinging 30, 40 yard shots, even consistent 20 yard shots. It's not good for you. So there you go. Let's practice our form, and always take time. Not like you say, well, I've already got my form down, so I don't have to do the blind bailing or the 3 second with my eyes closed. It's even more important to do it now, because your form will stray. So always, I actually draw a few times before I shoot my first arrow of the day. If you get in the tree stand or the ground blind when you're going hunting, you don't just sit there cold. You'll draw your bow a few times, and you'll limber up them muscles, and then an animal comes in, you're ready to make the shot. But I take advantage of that limbering my muscle by hitting anchor, closing my eyes, and doing that 3 second drill and letting down to make sure I'm touching my anchor. All right, y'all keep the good Lord first, and remember, practicing good form and being consistent is what you have to do. And in your daily life, in your daily walk with Christ, practicing good form by prayer and staying in that Bible keeps you strong, keeps you confident, and you'll know that when you get through running that race, it's all going to be good. Thank y'all for watching my videos. Keep the good Lord first. We'll see you on the next one.